Hi everyone, I'm Amy. Welcome to my yoga practice. Today's practice, we're going to be focusing on getting really grounded and connected to the earth and connecting to our own deep center so that we can move out into our day and be okay with whatever the world presents to us. It's really easy sometimes to get thrown off by what's happening in the external. And once you know where your center is, you know how to ground deeply into yourself, it's a lot less easier and likely that you're going to be thrown off by the chaos in the world. So I'm excited to have you join me. Go ahead and spread out your mat and let's get started. All right, so we're going to get started in a seated position to do a little centering meditation. So you can sit cross-legged. If you happen to have a pillow to boost your hips up on, that would be probably a little bit more comfortable for you. And you can also sit on your shin bones. Some people prefer that. So choose whichever option feels most comfortable for you. And then go ahead and just let your eyes come to close and let your hands come to rest over your knees or in your lap. And just start to settle into your own body. And you might even want to wiggle around a little bit and just see if you can kind of ease any tension, superficial tension out of the body. Making a little bit more space for your breath. And then go ahead and make a direct connection with your breath and breathe in through the nose, nice and deeply. And as you exhale, feel your body beginning to settle into your mat. We're going to repeat that a few times, so just breathing in nice and deeply. And exhaling, letting the muscles of your body release so that you can sink down into the floor. And you might even start to feel what that's like for you if grounding and connecting to the earth is easy for you this morning. Right, so we exhale, feel down into the legs, and also feeling down into your seat to the base of your spine. And you're welcome to just to keep your eyes closed, but start to rock your body around just a little bit. And this can be very subtle. So just letting your weight shift slightly forward and then letting your weight shift a little bit back. And this can be a movement that actually comes from your spine. Shifting your spine a little over to the right and a little over to the left. But as you're shifting, pay most attention, put most of your attention on your foundation. So how that feels for your weight to be shifting through the foundation of your body. And see if you can release your lower belly and allow your spine to come back into just a neutral space. And pause there and then take another deep breath, but this time see if you can feel your belly expand. Relax your jaw, exhale through an open mouth. Great, so this practice is all about getting grounded and centered inside of ourselves so that we can move out into our day from that place and be able to really kind of take on whatever the world serves us, whatever's happening around us, even if it's chaotic. We can draw from this grounded, centered place inside of ourselves. Good. And really, before we get moving, just take a moment to locate your own center. So navigate your awareness down into your body. You can probably feel where your tailbone is, so we know that that's the base of our spine. And then look around a little bit and just think about, where is your center? Where can you go inside yourself to feel safe and centered? And there's no perfect place. It'll be whatever pops up for you in this moment. And once you feel it, just connect to it. Take a breath into it. Exhale out. And we'll return to that place throughout the practice. From here, go ahead and let your chin drop slightly and just let your eyes slowly blink open. And we're going to shift ourselves forward onto our hands and knees, and we're going to do a little warm up for the spine. So come around, hands and knees, hands spread nice and wide right underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And let your spine elongate here. We're going to push down into the hands and scoop the belly up into the body, pushing the floor away. Press your tailbone down towards the earth. Really let your spine stretch. And then on your inhalation, reverse that movement. Begin to lift your chest, let your belly release towards the earth, and see if you can slide your shoulders away from your ears here, lifting your chin, gazing up. And take this nice and slow, at least these first few rounds, breathing out, round your spine. And breathing in, extending your spine. So real easy, gentle movement to wake up your back, your backbone, your core this morning. Take a few more rounds and you can just move with your own breath. And if you find a sweet spot that needs a little extra attention, you can always pause there, take an extra breath into that space. It's kind of coaxing the body open this morning. Good. Take one more breath in, bringing yourself through center. And then we're going to shift back into child's pose. So just releasing your hips towards your heels. And you can kind of take those knees close together, wide apart, your choice. And see if you can get your forehead all the way down to the mat here. And you might even want to cross your forearms. You could rest your head on your forearms. And connect into your belly. And take a few, take a few deep breaths down into your belly. So the belly is a great way to help our energy drop a little bit more into the body. So breathe nice and deeply and feel your belly expanding out towards your thighs as you inhale. And then try to let your arms, your legs sink into your mat, grounding your energy as you exhale. Belly breathing has a real soothing effect on the nervous system as well. So when you get overwhelmed during the day, if you hear news that upsets you, you can pause, feel the ground beneath you, and connect to your belly and breathe into the belly. Good. And then we're going to come back up. So when you're ready, breathe and rise back up onto your hands and knees. And let's just do a little more stretching from here. So press into your left hand, take your right arm up. And just feel your upper back stretch here and rotate out your right wrist a couple times. If your joints are really sticky this morning, you can also bend into the elbow. You could also do a big arm circle, moving through your shoulder. All of these little movements for the joints are so great to do in the morning because we do get a little stiff, get a little sticky overnight, and to fully inhabit your body, to be really grounded in your body, you need to open up that space in those joints. We'll take one more breath. You can reach up through your fingers, gaze up, and then breathe out, just releasing that right hand down, and we'll switch sides. Press into the right hand, lift your left arm up. Looking up and circling out the wrist. If it feels good, you could create a little movement into the elbow. And these movements are really intuitive. It's about what feels right for your body. Drawing some big circles with your arm. Keep your breath flowing. And one more big breath. Breathe in. And then we'll exhale, release. Take that left hand down. Plant your palms, spread your fingers. Let's tuck the toes, moving into our first downward facing dog. Lift your hips, stretch them back. So because we're focusing a lot on grounding and centering inside of ourselves with this practice, work with your foundation here to start. So just find your feet, spread your toes a little bit, and start to stretch into the feet just by lifting the heels and then lifting the toes if you can. You can bend into the knees a little bit, just really energizing, brightening up, awakening the lower body. Nice here to bend one knee and then the other knee. And again, because the joints get so sticky, sometimes it's nice you can try this on. It's not always the most comfortable stretch, but you can try to stand on the tops of your feet. Sometimes you have to do one at a time if your feet are really stiff, but this is really good to open up a lot of important pressure points down into the feet. You'll probably feel that instantly. You have a little bit more energy down there. And also notice your hands, spread your fingers, reach through the tips of your fingers, and bring the breath in. Let your whole body inhale and feel your whole body exhale. Release your neck. And whenever you need to take a break, you just drop your knees. Child's pose is there for you, and you're welcome to take that as much as you need to. Good. Come back to your center, inside yourself, that place you located at the very beginning of class, and just take one deep breath right into that place, aligning yourself with your own center. Good. From here, we're going to walk the feet to the front of the mat. Just ease yourself up. And you can keep a little space between your feet and then just let your body dangle forward. You might need to bend your knees really deeply if your back is feeling tight today. And then just rock a little side to side, kind of be loosey-goosey through the spine. Let your head hang freely. You could nod your head no. Nod your head yes. Nod your head maybe. It's always an interesting one. Try to figure that out. Give a little shake to the shoulders. One more nice deep breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Good, and then we're going to slowly roll up. So keep the knees a little bit bent. Let your back round. Head is hanging heavy. And as you roll yourself up through your spine, you'll eventually find yourself standing nice and tall. And when you get to the top here, you can just shrug your shoulders up, back, and down. Take a little pause. See how you're feeling upright here. And we're going to move into some easy sun salutations. We'll just do a couple through this morning. So bring the palms to touch at the front of the chest. Let's actually interlace the fingers. I'm going to have you push the palms out, reach the arms up, give a good stretch here. You could even arch back a little bit, lift your gaze, maybe shift your hips slightly forward. There shouldn't be any discomfort in your low back. Nice and easy. And then as you breathe out, tipping forward, release your hands, folding over, maybe again with the knees a little bit bent. When you're down here at the bottom, bend your knees if you need to. Draw your chin to your chest. Let your back stretch. Breathe out completely. And then inhale, lengthen through your spine. And this is a good place to slide the hands up your shin bones. You might find that you need a little extra boost, right? So hands can come up the shin bones. Another breath into your chest, shoulders sliding down away from the ears, and then exhale, bring the hands to your mat. And let's step back with the left foot. We're going to try for a crescent lunge here. So option one could be just to stay here, fingertips on the floor, or you can start to make your way up into a crescent lunge. You could keep your hands on your thigh or your hips, or go ahead and reach your arms up overhead. Sometimes helpful here to really squeeze through the muscles of your left leg all the way up to the glutes, and then lift up your left heel. Start to arch back, gaze up, reach through your fingertips. Feel your whole body brightening up here, right? Saying hello to your muscles. Inhale the breath. And then exhale, we'll release. Take the hands all the way down, and we're going to step right into plank pose, upward push-up. So shoulders over the wrist, and you could drop your knees to your mat here if you needed to. But even with the knees on the mat, try to keep them light on your mat so you're building up that core strength. If you can lift your knees, squeeze your thighs, point your tailbone down towards the earth, lift through the back of your neck, and press your shoulders away from your ears. Already you might be shaking. That's a good sign that your body is waking up and getting stronger. Push the floor away. Let's take one more breath. And then on your exhalation, tip a little forward, press in through the hands and elbows, and slowly lower down all the way to your belly. We're going to start with a baby back bend called Cobra. So as you inhale, you can curl up, lifting forehead, chin, and chest. Reach your toes back behind you, get really long through the legs, roll the shoulders back, hug your elbows in, and breathe. Tune into your navel as you're breathing and just feel the movement of the belly against your mat, against the floor. Just another way to touch into grounding your energy. So Cobra is a really nice option in the vinyasa, but you can also move through full up dog. For that, I just recommend sliding those hands back a little bit, push through the palms. Let the arms extend out straight, push through the feet, lift your knees, squeezing through your thighs, gaze up. And we'll all shift into down dog, breathing out. Take a moment here and just kind of check in. Notice how you're feeling in your body. Bring as much of your awareness inside yourself. So you're really aligned, connected to your inner body, specifically your center. It's almost like you're learning to take up residency there, finding that as your inner sanctuary, your inner refuge. Right, so whatever's going on in the world around you, you can come back home to yourself and feel a sense of calm. One more deep breath here. Breathe in, and then we're going to step the left foot to the front of the mat. You can try to get your fingers and toes lined up here. And when you're ready, shifting all the way into your version of crescent lunge. So hands to the thigh, hands to the hip maybe, arms reaching all the way up. Find a focal point if you need help with your balance here, and you can lift up your right heel, squeeze the right leg, and maybe start to arch back. Melt the shoulders a little bit. Feel that left foot ground into the left heel. Good, breathe in. And then exhale, release, hands come back to your mat. And spring your back foot forward. Take a breath in, find that length of your spine. And then exhale, release. Let's take an extra breath here. Just breathe in and out. Wiggle your feet as close together as you can get them. We're going to sit back and come up into chair pose. So take the hips to the heels and then rising up. So here too, if it's too much for the arms to be overhead, you could bring your hands to your heart. You could bring your arms overhead, hands to the hips, lots of different ways to work with those arms. Squeeze your thighs together, draw the belly in. This is a more activating pose. And if you want even more, take your arms back, roll the shoulders back, press the palms down, but lift up through the back of the hands. So you're flying those arms back. Let's take one more breath. Good, and then sweep your arms up, straighten your legs, reach up, arch back again a little bit. Exhale, fold, dive over your thighs. Inhaling, long spine. Move through one more quick sun salutation. Just breathe here, a couple more breaths. Good, we're going to move into a pigeon pose from here. So lift your right leg. And you could circle out your right ankle, bend or straighten that right knee, or maybe bend the knee completely, opening up the hip and just stretching out your right side. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your right knee to your right hand. And this will be different for everybody depending on your flexibility, but you could use, if you happen to have, a pillow nearby, you might grab your pillow and slide it underneath your right hip just to give you a little extra propping. And then try claw fingers here. You're just going to push into your fingers, tall pigeon, lift your chest, maybe lift your gaze. Feel your hips sinking. Take a breath into your belly. Relax your jaw, exhale. So again, letting the body ground and settle. Okay, and then we're going to walk the hands out. And we're just going to be here for a short stay, so maybe 3 to 5 breaths. Let your breath slow down here. You can work with listening to the sound of your breath to keep yourself really focused inwardly. And you might even think of trying to breathe right down into that right hip, helping to clear the congestion there, the blockages there, the stiffness, the tightness. And we're going to take one more full breath. Breathe in. Hold the pose. Exhale. Walk your hands back. Lift yourself up to that tall pigeon. Maybe stretch through those left toes. Breathe in. And then we'll shift all the way back into downward facing dog. Tuck your left toes. Scoop the hips up. Reach back. This is a good place to pedal out your feet a little bit. Sometimes there's a significant shift between sides. So you can kind of see, oh, my right leg, my right foot feels a lot more rounded versus the left. So it's kind of good to check that. Notice the differences. If you want a little more dynamic movement, you can come along with me, breathing into plank, lowering chaturanga, inhaling upward facing dog, exhaling downward facing dog. And that's really just optional. And then we'll move to side two. So lift your left leg, take it up nice and high. Bend your left knee. Maybe circle through the ankle. This can be really organic. Just let it feel good. Big breath in. You're still really pushing through both hands, sending your chest back towards your right leg. And then when you're ready, slide that left knee towards the left thumb. Adjust to make this work for your body. Add the support, the pillow underneath your left hip if you need it. Push through the fingertips, lift up. You want to try to stretch straight back through your right foot. Breathe in. We exhale through your mouth. One more breath. And then walk those hands out and come into your pigeon pose. And really just feel the parts of your body that are in contact with your mat. And think about letting those parts of your body lean into the mat, lean into the floor. And that usually happens best with your exhalation. And this is all just around that idea of grounding. How do we let the body really release excess tension so it can ground? And we have this experience of being bonded with the earth, supported by the earth. Two more breaths here. Breathe down deep into your belly. And see if you can even let the breath reach down into that left hip. When you exhale, imagine the left hip actually breathing out the stress and tension it's holding on to. Good. On your next breath in, begin to walk your hands up. When you get to the top here, take a breath. Tuck those right toes, moving yourself back through down dog. You could just drop right into child's pose, maybe pedaling out the feet in down dog. Or if you'd like one more vinyasa, coming forward, if you want to enjoy that strengthening movement this morning, lowering through chaturanga, breathing into up dog, exhaling back through down dog. Let your whole body breathe in. You're inhaling through the pores on your skin. Let the whole body breathe out. Good. And then drop your knees. Come into child's pose again. Rest your hips back. And do a little check-in, just kind of noticing how you feel. Do you feel a little bit more present inside yourself, more connected to your own center? And even if that's vague to you, you now have a location, so you can just go there inside yourself. And And feel that place inside of you. Breathe into that place inside of you. And you might even say to yourself, I'm centered. From here, when you're ready, breathing in, you can rise back up onto your hands and knees. And then just go ahead and cross your ankles and roll back so that you're sitting on your mat. And we're going to do just one last little easy seated twist here, and then we're going to move into our final relaxation. So we'll just kind of bring out the spine. So you can sit cross-legged if that's comfortable for you. And again, remember, pillows underneath the hips are really helpful. Let's take the right hand back behind you. Take your left hand to your right knee, and then draw up through your chest, and just roll your gaze towards the right, peeking over your back shoulder here. Sit up as tall as you can. When you inhale, maybe you can lift through the crown of your head, and letting the elbows bend a little bit as you exhale, twisting a little deeper. This is a good spot to check in with your jaw. Let your jaw release. Relax around your neck. Even though you're twisting, we want to twist from the deep muscles close to the bone, and kind of use the arms to propel the bigger outer muscles into the twist. As you exhale, pull the belly in, lift the navel up, expand your chest a little. One more inhale. And then as you breathe out, unwind, bring yourself back through center, just take it over to the opposite side. And then push down into your fingertips, lift up nice and tall, gaze back over your left shoulder. And you could close your eyes once you've twisted your way into the pose. You could close your eyes here, connect to your inner body. Lift up tall as you inhale. And if it's possible, maybe a little bend of the elbows, wringing out your spine as you exhale. Feel your tailbone on your mat, the base of your spine, and notice your legs. So even though you're reaching up and twisting out, right, you're still grounded. You've got that solid foundation underneath you. One more deep breath here. Breathe in. And then exhale, unwind, bring yourself back through center. Awesome job. We're going to transition down into Shavasana. So you can bring yourself onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. And give yourself a little rock from side to side. And just notice what it's like to be supported now by the floor, the earth, with your back. When you're ready, you're going to stretch your legs out nice and long. And the feet can be about hip distance apart here, and you can just kind of flop your feet in and out a few times, and then let them just flop into their comfortable place. Your arms, if it's comfortable, you're going to have your hands out, your arms out alongside the body. Roll the palms open. But if that doesn't work for you, change it. Choose some other position. Put a pillow under your head or under your knees, whatever works for you. Let your eyes come to close. And again, think about how you can breathe in through the pores on your skin, which actually does happen. It's about 15 to 20% of the breath enters through the pores on the skin. So imagine that right now is possible. And try to feel yourself inhaling with your whole body. And then exhaling through the pores of your skin, let your body sigh out any last little bit of stress or tension. You might continue to feel that pulsation of the breath through the whole body as you rest and receive the benefits of your practice. So begin to bring some attention back to your breath. And you may feel like you need a longer Shavasana today. If so, just keep resting if you have the time and space to do so. If you're ready to transition into the rest of your day, however, just start to give yourself some little stretches here, wiggling through the toes, the fingers, and circling out your wrists and ankles. Could even rock your head a little side to side. Just letting your body organically stretch and wake up. And then eventually transitioning all the way up to a seated position. You can roll to your side, ease yourself up, or just rock and roll yourself all the way up to sit. Coming around, taking the seat that you started your practice in today. And let's gather the palms together at the front of the chest and then just let your eyes come to close. Taking a little pause and just noticing how you feel. And then let's take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you breathe out through your mouth, let your body release into the earth. Just bonding once again with the earth, feeling that sense of being grounded. And then another nice full breath in through the nose, connecting to your center. And as you exhale out through your mouth, just really let yourself bond with this part of yourself, this deep center, your home base. And then lastly, let's do one more cleansing breath for your day ahead. So breathe in through your nose. Exhale through an open mouth. And just imagine the pathway for your day, the best possible pathway for your day, filled with positive energy, good vibes, good people, good connections. Just feeling that path opening up for you and enticing you forward so that you can have the best day ever. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I hope your day is amazing, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.